On the occasion of the Sports Festival, which was held a few days ago in Trento and was organized with the help of the Gazzetta dello Sport, the best-selling sports newspaper in Italy, Charles Leclerc gave a partial assessment of the current Formula One championship, which is nearing its end with just 6 races remaining this year. The Monegasque driver emphasized that the 2024 Formula One season has been difficult, but overall it can still be considered a positive one. According to Charles Leclerc, the Maranello team has grown significantly after a rather difficult start, culminating in the gratifying victory on the streets of Monte Carlo in his home race, the Monaco Grand Prix. He admitted that the goal for Ferrari this season was to return to competing for race victories, which they have done, considering the 3 victories achieved so far in 2024. The Ferrari engineers and technicians were very much aware of the fact that there was still a long way to go in order to catch up with Red Bull in the early part of the 2024 Formula One season. At the same time, the Monegasque driver is aware that there is still a lot of work to be done to try and close the gap currently separating the SF24 single-seater from McLaren and Red Bull. This statement is rather surprising, given that the decline of the RB20 car has brought Red Bull's performance to a low in recent Grands Prix. The Baku City Circuit in Azerbaijan and the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore were clearly missed opportunities for the Maranello team, as Ferrari could and should have secured results that matched the level of performance shown by the SF24 car. Barring any major surprises in the last 6 rounds of the 2024 Formula One campaign, Ferrari and Charles Leclerc are unlikely to contend for World Championship titles. However, the Ferrari driver is very pleased with the work done by the Italian team this year, pointing out to the measures that step by step are helping to close the gap with the competition. As he stated after his victory in the Monaco Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc now has only one goal: to win the World Championship with the Maranello-based team. This is the dream that the 26-year-old from Monte Carlo has cherished since he was a child, wandering through the streets of the Principality. Many great drivers, both past and present, have managed to achieve their goal of winning the World Championship much earlier. We can think of Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and Michael Schumacher, just to name a few of the top drivers, who broke through more quickly than Charles Leclerc. But for the fan-favorite Ferrari driver, age is not a concern. His true obsession is winning with Ferrari, a thought that stays with him from the moment he wakes up. And the Monegasque driver wanted to emphasize the fact that his ambition is shared by every member of the team. Charles Leclerc candidly admitted that his relationship with Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur goes beyond the professional aspect, as it began back in the junior categories. Charles did not miss the chance to highlight the secret behind the strong connection with the French manager. The Ferrari driver explained that when he makes a mistake, Frédéric Vasseur often approaches him, and with just a look they understand each other immediately due to their long-standing familiarity. He emphasized the importance of having people around who are completely honest and unfiltered when the driver makes an error. However, the Monegasque driver noted that this dynamic changes slightly when one becomes a Ferrari driver, as increased fame makes such direct feedback less common. Charles Leclerc also observed that people tend to be more reserved, making it harder for those around him to be direct when he makes a mistake. While he is usually the first to acknowledge his errors, there are times when he doesn't notice them, and Frédéric Vasseur is one of the few who does and points it out directly. This, Charles Leclerc noted, is extremely helpful, as no one in Formula One is perfect. Frankness in a professional relationship is a moment of growth if you're able to learn from mistakes, take a step back, and look at the situation as a whole. Charles Leclerc explained that Frédéric Vasseur is very good at calming his heated moments, bringing the discussion back to a rational level. The Ferrari driver also revealed that he was one of the first to know about the discussions between the Maranello team and 7-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton, appreciating the transparency of the team in keeping him informed about what could have been a potentially unwelcome decision. On the contrary, Charles Leclerc was the first to say how motivating such a move could be, because having a 7-time F1 world champion alongside him would allow him to compare himself to a living legend among current drivers. It was an opportunity he couldn't pass up. The Monegasque driver explained that he has an excellent relationship with Lewis Hamilton, and is confident it will remain so in the future, even if they end up competing for race victories and Formula One titles, which would be the best scenario for Ferrari. At the same time, however, he wanted to emphasize that there has also been great collaboration with Carlos Sainz, and their relationship has been very good during their 4 years together in Maranello. Looking ahead to the future, the challenge with Lewis Hamilton doesn't worry him at all. In fact, as he said, it motivates him, as it will be a huge opportunity to learn from one of the best professionals in the field, and at the same time, to show what he can do with equal machinery, if there was still any need for that. Certainly, the Mercedes driver can be a great source of inspiration, very useful for improving in areas where the Monegasque driver might still be behind his future teammate. Charles Leclerc's goal, therefore, will always remain the same, even with Lewis Hamilton, to try to be the best version of himself. Having grown up in the Ferrari driver academy, Charles Leclerc is aware of his strengths and the areas he still needs to work on. And that's exactly what he will try to do, hoping to win the World Championship with Ferrari as soon as possible.